sweet girl. Thank you. All right. Yes, wow, what a wonderful, rousing Sunday this is. This is most excellent. Most excellent. Welcome to Unity of Billings. Would you all like to join me in singing our opening song? And the words are on the monitor. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Beautiful. Thank you, Rick. Our Sunday services are being live streamed today. Thank you all for being here in the physical and out there in Streamland. Thank you for helping to support our Unity ministry. You may donate by going to PayPal at unitybillings@gmail.com or our website, unityofbillings.org. And thank you very, very, very much. I have a very special announcement today. It's Rick's birthday. Yes, and tomorrow is Aurora's birthday. Aurora is Rick's daughter. And so what a happy moment. We get to celebrate both of these wonderful people. Any other birthdays this month? March? Oh, wonderful. More birthdays out there. Excellent. All right. Please join me. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear buddy and Laura and everyone. Birthday to you. Awesome. Oh, thank you. And we just had this fabulous accompaniment by Cookie, who is Rick's sister. Awesome. He has two sisters in the house. Two sisters, a daughter, and Partridge, and a wife, and a wonderful. What a wonderful celebration. Oh, my heart feels very full. The other announcements, which are pale in comparison. We are scheduling our Billings Bright and Beautiful cleanup April 25th from 9 to 1, or when we finish. And this is a Billings, is it Parks and Rec, or is it?
No, it's Billings Bright and Beautiful.
Okay, it's Billings Bright and Beautiful. Okay, that's an entity in and of itself. But what we do is we wear our fabulous Unity shirts and we go out and we pick up trash. It's awesome. It's awesome. You know, we love it. And our place is going to be east of the airport on Two Swords Park. So it's a really nice area up there.
Do they provide snacks and things? Or? Yep.
They do.
We'll have all that. So wear your hats. And probably donuts.
Yeah, sacks of donuts. Bring your own water. I mean, what else do we need, right? And the fresh air, it's just beautiful.
Yes, the view.
Our food collection continues in the lobby and will be an ongoing project. We'll be taking another donation, box full of donations soon, and this is for family services. Our meditation room is available from 9:30 a.m. on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Excuse me, I read that incorrectly. Our meditation room is available at 9:30 a.m. on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays. Our March speakers today, we have the great privilege of listening to Leslie Fisher, and her message is, "Why me?" Messages are always fantastic. It's so awesome to see all of her family and friends here today. Great. And Rio, that is your precious child. What a beautiful child. He is beautiful. March 29th will be Palm Sunday, and Reverend Edie Weigel has some wonderful plans for us to celebrate the Palm Sunday. April 5th is Easter, and Reverend Edie Weigel will again be with us. April 12th will be Reverend Phil Zimke. Turn my page over. Thank you, Robin. And if everyone will take a deep cleansing breath, maybe 3, and center yourselves, and we will listen to our opening song with David Friedman. Our Unity song with David Friedman.
And we have spring pictures because it is.
Yes, thank you, Robin, for providing those pictures for us. It is spring, officially.
Every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. There is no one out there, there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me, there's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are
Thank you, David. I will now light the Christ candle, which is a symbol of the indwelling Christ within all of us and in our service today. It's so wonderful to have these beautiful families here today. The energy is really awesome. So good to see you all. Our daily word, which is a Unity publication, we have booklets on the back table available for a donation. The Daily Word has been in print for at least 100 years. And just for me, is a constant companion of just a reminder of when I get off track a little bit, I can just read a message for the day and I'm right back. I remember who I am. And if you'll join me in affirming wholeness, wholeness is the unshakable, eternal truth of me. It's comforting to remember no matter what may happen to me in the world, I'm always whole. Even during times of illness or insufficiency, my true nature is of divine wholeness. Worldly situations will always be in a state of flux, changing and shifting in ways I cannot control or understand. I do what I can to tend to my health and my other material needs, but I do not worry over things I cannot control. Instead, I rely upon my prayer life and other spiritual practices to claim my wholeness. This is the enduring truth of who I am, whole and complete, regardless of any outside circumstances or appearance. How liberating it is to know that I am secure in God and complete at all times, spiritually perfect, and infinitely blessed. For him, the whole fullness of deity dwells bodily, and you have come to fullness in him, who is the head of every ruler and authority. Colossians 2:9 and 10. Again, please affirm with me wholeness. Wholeness is the unshakable, eternal truth of me. I find that so comforting, especially today, these days. A lot of interesting things going on in the world. We live in incredible times. Please join me in affirming our Unity Foundation principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the Omnipotent. And our Unity of Billings affirmation, which was crafted by our Unity of Billings chaplain, Charlene Inglis. Through divine wisdom and grace, Unity of Billings is vibrant, healing, and inclusive. And now, if you'll join me in praying. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And our special music today will be Rick and Cookie. I'm so glad we have this on film.
Whoa. What?
What? And Christina and
Jane.
Jane.
It's page 305 for the Beauty of Earth. They'll play it.
Thank you, Jane.
So you can, everybody join, please. And page 305.
There'll be a 4-bar.
They're going to play an intro, and then we'll start singing. I believe we're going to do all 4 verses. Is that correct?
On page 305, Jane? Okay, awesome. Thank you. endless skies. Oh, to thee rise, this our hymn of grateful praise. The beauty of each hour, on the day and on the night, hill and vale, tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of earth and life, for the heart Christ's delight, for the mystic harmony, making sense to sound and sight. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. The joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child, love relays things above, gentle, peaceful, calm, and mild. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Jane, Christina, Cookie, and Rick. Your family is so talented.
Show off. Besides sisters, niece of our brother-in-law, nephew-in-law, niece of ours, and a dear adopted member of the family, Corby Skinner.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Beautiful family. So good to see you all. All right. That was really, really nice. You all played beautifully and sang even better. Or maybe not better, the same. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna stop myself before Oh, it's so good to be here together today, to feel the energy of the light and the love of God and from one another. As we receive your gifts and your physical presence and your love and your light, we generate that light even to a higher degree as it moves out into our community and into the state of Montana and into the world. Our living light is very powerful, and so it is. So our Sunday message today with Leslie Fisher, why me?
Good morning.
Morning.
It's so nice to see so many people in here. It's happening, you guys. It's happening. So I had a really hard time figuring out a name for this. And who was it that saw those? I brought my notes in. Was it Edie that saw it and was like, was it you? Well, of course it was you. I had a whole bunch of notes because I knew what I wanted to talk about, but sometimes coming up with like a title that puts it all together so people kind of know what to expect is hard. And Clayton saw "Why me" on my notes, and he was like, "There, right there." look at that. So it's just in the daily word today, everything all kind of fits into place, whether or not we're conscious of it, whether or not we do it on purpose. It's just always so interesting to see how divine order kind of comes together And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because it's like, why do we worry about anything? You know, we get so stuck in the way we think it should be and the way we think it should go. And that's really what I'm talking about today. So why me? Well, this is often one of the first questions we ask when life hands us lemons. Everybody knows that expression, right? Do I need to explain it to anybody? Don't be shy. Okay. Okay. They're sour. We didn't ask for them. And now we're stuck with them. We resist the lemons. We push back. And a lot of the time we try to just leave them behind or ignore them or pawn them off on somebody else, do anything with them to get them away from us. We do not want these lemons. But these are divine lemons. They're not regular lemons. You can't just leave them behind. They'll follow us around. They'll trip us up. They'll squeeze juice in our eyes. They'll do whatever they have to do to get our attention. They're for us on purpose, and they know it. And sometimes we will get tired of the lemon drama and reluctantly pick them up and deal with them. Do what we need to do. Face the problem. But other times, we'll keep pushing back. We'll keep resisting. Even when we know deep down that the lemons are the problem. And if we would just confront them directly, we could move past them. We don't always do what we know we should do, right? Or is that just me? It's a human thing. We do it. So eventually, those lemons start to mold and smell. And if you've ever walked through the produce aisle and smelled moldy citrus, I really want you to conjure that smell in your mind right now, just for a second, because that's what's happening on a metaphysical level. That kind of funk is what's starting to happen here. And that smell is going to start to drive away the people around us. We've got these moldy, gross lemons following us around, and people are like, I'm not touching that. And then we start to feel like we are actually alone. We start to feel isolated. We have to look at it, and we have to know these lemons clearly aren't going anywhere until we do something with them. And sometimes when we reach this point of aloneness, we finally realize we need to do something about these lemons, or they're just going to get worse from here. But even with the moldy, disgusting lemons following us around, sometimes we still resist. And now we've driven everyone away. We can't think clearly ourselves for the stench of the rotting lemons. Our lives are in shambles. And it's all because we refuse to face whatever those lemons were trying to bring to our attention. We resisted, and the lemons persisted. That's unity right there. What we resist persists. Now that's a pretty innocuous way of describing a life basically falling to pieces. But I think it's a process we can kind of all relate to some degree. We've all been there. We've all had things in our lives come up where, boy, I really should deal with that, but I just don't have it in me today. I just don't want to. If I look away from the problem, it'll go away on its own, right? It'll resolve itself. It'll be okay. But you got to do something with the lemons, or they're going to start to smell. We all face things in life that we don't think we want at first. And when we're operating out of an unawakened consciousness, we immediately resist. It's a knee-jerk thing. It's an instinctive thing. We put up walls, we turn away, we plug our ears, cover our eyes, and we really hunker down into our belief in separation. Our fear-based ego tells us we've done what we needed to do to keep ourselves safe. That's the ego's job, keep us safe, keep us alive. When in reality, all we've done is widened that imaginary gap in our minds between us and our source. Now here's the kicker. That gap is where the lemons come from. I've talked before about how our belief that we're somehow separate from God, or separate from each other, separate from anything in creation. That idea, that belief, is really the source of all of our suffering. And a big piece of our spiritual awakening on an individual level and on a collective level is found in that belief. As we confront it and dismantle it, one person, one expression of the divine at a time. One way we do this is learning to reframe those inevitable struggles. We got to look at the lemons differently so we can do something good with them. That's what we're here to do. When we can recognize struggle as a teacher rather than a bully, rather than some smelly lemons following us around, we begin to close that gap, leaking all the lemons. There's a theme here. Can you guess what it is? It's the lemons. Now, obviously, this is easier in theory than in practice, or everybody would be doing it. It wouldn't be something I would need to talk about. We would all just know we'd be doing it. But it helps to have tools that we can kind of bust out when we're going through it, when we're really like walking through the smelly lemons. Unity teachings really are practical in this way because it includes a lot of things we can use, not just when we're going through a crisis, but things we can practice on a daily basis. So that way when we're going through it and we don't have the capacity to like focus in and really put our minds to it, it's second nature. Things like practicing mindfulness, being in the moment, meditating, affirmative prayer. When we practice these things, when we're calm, when things are going well, out of a place of gratitude, when we start to go through a crisis, it's right there. We know what to do. It's almost like a muscle memory because we've practiced it. Now we can call on it much, much easier when we're in the middle of the struggle. And I don't know if everyone's familiar with Eric Butterworth. He was a Unity teacher, preacher, speaker, writer. He was all of it, and he did some really good work. I really like his work because he does a really good job of boiling down really complicated concepts into everyday language that's easy to understand. He's very good at distilling that. That's the word I'm looking for. And he had a really great talk. He gave some really pertinent questions to kind of ask when we're going through this lemon-scented crisis. And it can be really helpful to have these at hand to reframe our thoughts about the situation. So I'm going to kind of go through them one at a time. And I think it would be, I wanted to kind of have them written down so I could give them out to people, but I ran out of time. So question 1, what are the positive factors that I can see in this crisis? This is classic Unity teaching, and we're not the only ones to touch on this. If we focus on the good things, that's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to notice and find. If we focus on our pain, our discomfort, that's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to find. So what we focus on is what we end up seeing. It's all here. Our power is here. So if we can practice finding the proverbial silver lining within the struggle and focus on that instead of the discomfort and pain, every time we ask this question, it gets easier and easier to see. It's that muscle memory again. We dig a little deeper and we find that it's not about ignoring the reality of the situation, but it's about understanding that no matter what we're going through, the circumstances are external, but our reaction to those circumstances, that's on us. We own that, whether we like it or not. So why not find elements in this same situation to react to in ways that are more aligned with our truth? So that way, when we look back at how we dealt with that struggle, we can say, yeah, I did good. I did all right. I came through it and I grew and it was all right. I was freaking out, but it's okay now. Question 2, what am I learning about myself through this? But first, this can kind of seem like more isolating out of fear, like focusing on us and pushing the world away. But what it's really doing is recentering us in the one thing we really can control, which is ourselves. It's a little harder than simply finding the good because it requires us to honestly examine our own behavior, which humans are great at, are we not? We're great at looking at how we behave, especially at our lowest points. But instead of judging our actions, meeting the reality of them with compassion and grace. As Brene Brown said, what we don't need in the midst of a struggle is shame for being human, because we are human, beautifully. And so often we confuse humility with shame. So instead of allowing for the flow of divine consciousness through us, as us, we scrunch ourselves down to be as small as our shame would have us believe we are. And it's a liar. Shame is always a liar. So we have to shine the light of understanding and grace onto those beliefs that we hold that stem from shame or nourish shame, opening ourselves back up to the unbridled flow of the divine. That's the only way to bring those parts of us that need healing to be healed. You have to shine that light on them. They want to hide in the dark. They want to hide in the shadowy parts of ourselves, and we want to keep them there sometimes. But the only way to heal it is to bring it forward and look at it in a way that's non-judgmental and compassionate. And that kind of moves into question 3. What is this helping me to see about my potentialities? It's a word that Eric Butterworth liked to use, potentialities. And I was like, how can I make that sound less hard to understand? I couldn't think of anything. So this is kind of the natural successor to the previous question. Since to see those potentialities, which is just like all the things that we could be that are the truth of us, the way to see those, we have to be able to see ourselves rightly, clearly, non-judgmentally, and from a place of love first. When we take the time to objectively examine why we're upset or our initial reactions to our struggles, why did that person's opinion make me so mad? Why am I reacting the way I am to this situation? It's a shift. It's a subtle shift from that person made me mad to why am I acting this way because of the thing that I heard. It takes the power away from the other person and brings it back to us because that's where it is. Other people's ideas, opinions really don't have power over us unless we give it to them. And so taking that back with just a simple reframe is huge. And when we do that, when we start to look at those objectively, compassionately, we can start to look critically at the cause behind the effect. This is another deep Unity teaching, is we don't try to find the cause first. We look at the effect that's happening in our lives, in ourselves, and then we peel back layers to find the cause. And eventually, we peel back enough layers, and this is a process, a long process, an arduous process, but a process worth doing. We always find the truth, the primal cause, which is, of course, the divine, God. This truth begs us to stop identifying with our pain. We are not our pain. And instead to realize that we are spiritual beings who are experiencing pain, but it is not the truth of who we are. That's the daily word. Wholeness is the truth of who we are. Compassion is the truth of who we are. Love is the truth of who we are. Pain is not the truth of who we are. So it only hurts as long as we allow the hurt to continue. Again, that power is ours. Sometimes we really cling to that pain. I know I do that. Sometimes we cling to it because it feels like it validates the struggle somehow, or it makes me more human, or it allows me to feel like a victim, and so I can be vindicated a little bit. It kind of becomes an emotional security blanket, except instead of truly comforting us, it makes us bleed. Bad security blanket, don't do it. So it's like a threadbare blanket, and we have to leave it behind us. We have to make the decision to leave that pain behind us. And even though we're not bleeding anymore, yay, sometimes that part of healing can feel like abandonment. And it's okay to grieve that pain we're letting go of. It's okay to grieve the version of ourselves we shed to move toward our highest good and our most authentic expression. That's how we make room for those potentialities to blossom. Question 4, how can I use this crisis to discover my weakness and develop my strengths? Eric Butterworth said, all the problems of life and all the personal weaknesses of individual experience are essentially the frustration of potentiality, the degree to which we are out in the far country, separated in consciousness from the source. So our weakness really does live in our belief in separation after all. And the wider that gap is, the more and bigger lemons come through. We're back, people. But this doesn't mean we should lose hope. If anything, it gives us hope, because it means that as long as that belief carries the weight of authority in our minds and in our lives and in the collective consciousness, we will always have opportunities to confront and dismantle it. This is how we help the world. And we know right now the world is in kind of a state of perpetual crisis in some form or another, or at least that's what we're led to believe. But I don't think that's the truth. I think that's the ego. It's the fear-based ego talking and saying, oh, I need to separate. I need to keep myself safe. I need to isolate. But we don't. So when we get there and we start reframing our thought process, that's how we make lemonade out of these stinky lemons. It kind of sounds counterintuitive, but the most effective and long-lasting way to help this world is by knowing and being true to ourselves. Not in a self-serving way, like our ego would have us believe that is, but in a healing and transformative way that honors our individuality as expressions of the divine, as well as the truth of those we mean to serve. And the reason it does sound counterintuitive to us, when it's actually the most intuitive thing we can do, is exactly because of that ego we've let collectively have so much power. We've given it so much power over so many generations. We've let our fear drive. And it's kind of become second nature instead of abhorrent to our nature, which is really what it is. That's why people are unhappy. That's why people have discord in their lives, because this thing that is so contrary to who we are has been allowed to just take the wheel and drive, and it's normal now for us. And so often the world tries to convince us to let our fear drive on an individual basis. Fear that we're not enough as we are, that we can't create the life we imagine, that our efforts to heal ourselves and the world around us are futile and fruitless. We're taught that our fear keeps us alive rather than limiting our aliveness. We're taught that curiosity killed the cat, but what if the cat just found something more? Curiosity is not inherently dangerous. Rather, it inherently conquers that fear more effectively than any conceivable amount of courage we can muster. So how do we feed this divine curiosity? Well, why me doesn't count. We've kind of already established that it draws from the well of fear rather than from the well of truth. But one way to take the Unity teachings, or one way is to take the Unity teaching that says we are 100% human and 100% divine and run with it. Purposefully and intentionally honor your humanity, warts and all. I really think one of the best and most effective ways we can do this is by remembering how to play. Play comes so naturally to us when we're kids. We don't worry about what people think. We just have fun. We make fun out of situations. We find things to give us joy. We find excitement and wonder in things that, the grown-ups around us don't see. And no matter what our circumstances are when we're kids, we find those things, but we kind of bury it as we get older. So we need to rediscover the things that spark genuine joy in us and learn to relearn to create, imagine, and play in ways that fan that flame. In our productivity worshiping culture, creating simply for the fun of it is kind of relegated to children or retirees, or those that society deems to not yet or no longer be of productive value. What this very bleak outlook fails to take into consideration is that creativity is our nature. We're always creating through our thoughts, our words, our works, and not always intentionally. Sometimes we create problems in our lives because of the way we think about our lives, because of the way we think about ourselves and the world we live in. And this is Unity teaching at its core. We have the power to create. We have the power to create the life we want to live because we have the power to change our way of thinking. And if we change our way of thinking, it changes the way we see the world. And if we change the way we see the world, it changes the way we act in the world. It changes our actions. But it has to start here. And it takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes grace and compassion, because we are not perfect. We are perfectly imperfect. And that is part of being human. And that is beautiful, because that is where growth happens. So we must intentionally create for fun, on purpose. Great. What if we don't think of ourselves as the creative type? I've heard people say that when I suggest, like, oh, you could draw, oh, you could paint it. No, I can't do that. I'm not artistic like that. Well, you don't have to be. It's not true either. We are all expressions of the creative intelligence of the divine, so we are creative by our very existence. We're taught that creativity has to look a certain way or produce functional things of use in order to be valid. But that's also not true. Creative flow is unique to each of us, and we can wield this incredible power in whatever way is most aligned with our unique expression. The more I learn, the more I believe we are who we are on purpose. With all the things that have happened in our lives, it's all on purpose. And so it only makes sense that we would all create a little differently. And that unique creative flow, that's how you make the lemonade. That creative process inherently includes deconstructing, breaking down those lemons into the parts we want to keep and integrate, as well as recreating, recomposing the elements of the lemon, plus our own unique flair, whatever that might be, however that looks. It's all good, it's all valid, and we make it into something beautiful and meaningful. So the next time life hands you those sour lemons, I hope instead of resisting the flow and putting up your hands, you leap at the chance to heal, create, and play. I hope you honor your humanity, root into your divinity, and transmute pain into wisdom like the divine creative force you are. Namaste. All right, I think we'll circle up. Okay, so I'm sure you heard me.